Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of pickups. This is the week that I picked up on March 11th, 2025. So it was the previous week of that, obviously. So this is what I've got. Let's take a look. Got some cool stuff this week. Really enjoy it. Got a few extra because some packages that were supposed to be from the previous week uh, didn't get given to me at my box, so I had to wait till this week to get them. So, well, anyways, we're going to start with Phantom Stranger 22. It's a really cool Jim Aparo cover. I'm big fan of Phantom Stranger. Love the bronze horror. Uh, I didn't like it originally, but uh, I started to read more and more, and I'm getting into it just a whole lot more. I always liked the Spectre, but Phantom Stranger and some of the Marvel Bronze horror, I'm really digging. So that's cool. So you got that. Got Phantom Stranger number 28. And that, of course, is um, a Nick Cardy cover. Um, you're going to see a lot, especially if you don't know on some of the Bronze Horror DC stuff. You're going to see a lot of Nick Cardy, Neil Adams, Jim Aparo, Bernie Wrightson, um, Luis Dominguez, the big guys that are the main stuff, and they really do some cool cover art, and so it's fun. It's fun to see. Next is number 31, A Phantom Stranger, and it's a Luis Dominguez. Um, really cool cover with the Phantom Stranger being shot at. Uh, it's as I said, it's just the covers are amazing. I really love them. Um, so that's why I've been picking them up. Next, we have one of the books. I'm going to clean this. This is a project book. It's going to get a little better, but it's going to be just my stopgap or my placeholder for now. I don't I don't always do placeholders, but this was a good price, so and I want to try it as a project book. But this book I've been looking for a long time, and I absolutely needed to get this. It's Brave and the Bold, number 93, Neil Adams cover, Batman in the House of Mystery. It has a nod to House of Mystery 174, which I'm also looking for. So it's just it's just really cool. I mean, this cover is phenomenal. Um, so as I said, it's a project book. It's not the best. Needs a bit of cleaning. Needs a good press. But there's a big line down the or crease down the right side. So as I said, it's more a project book than anything. Um, but it'll suffice for now. So that I thought was really cool. Um, so next up, since we were talking about Neil Adams, I love this book too. And again, this is decently high grade. I'd say it's in the sevens, maybe 6.5. Um, so 6.5 is more mid, but getting into the higher grades. Um, It's Batman 237. Again, Neil Adams, but it's the first Grim Reaper in in comics or in DC at least. And it is this cover is phenomenal. I've wanted this book for a while, and I'm glad I got a chance to get it at a decent price. And it's going in my Halloween Instagram next year or this coming year. So look for that again. But I absolutely love this cover. Just love it. Uh, Again, Batman 335. Nothing really special about the book. Um, it's it's a Ra's al Ghul cover, but really, you know, it's a fight to the death kind of thing. So I thought it was cool. I needed to have it, so there it is. And Batman 373, the Ed Hannigan cover. Um, it's iconic. It's the Scarecrow. Uh, really awesome. Is Batman dead? We'll see, but you know, it's I think he makes it to 374. So just a little spoilers out there. Next up, we've got Witchblade, Magdalena, Vampirella, Dynamic Forces, signed by Gail Simone with the COA. Now, I'm a big Witchblade, Vampirella, and of course, Magdalena's part of Witchblade, um, which actually came out of the darkness, which came out of Witchblade. It all ties together. But you know me, I love my sexy girl, good girl art. Um, I always usually grab something every week. So this is one that I saw. It was it was a good price, which you're starting to see a theme. I usually pick up things when they're at a good price. I sit and wait. I can be patient and wait for my moment. Now this was given to me by a good buddy, Josh. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're awesome. I still hate you, but I'll let it slide. Um, the puppet still hates you, but I'm okay. Anyways, Jamie Tyndall, Witchblade, um, Virgin cover of number 2, which is volume 3, the newest Witchblade. Um, Big Jamie Tyndall fan. Again, we had one of the streamers for Jamie on bragging rights this past week, so it was really cool. Um, it's signed and with a COA right from Jamie Tyndall. So that I think is really cool. And again, next up, you've seen these books before. This is a beautiful, beautiful copy, really minty, of Marvel. Again, cool, cheesy story. Greg Horn art, but you know, it's a cool little run that is fun to have. And there's not much in high grade, so if you can find them and you can get them at a good price, grab them. Some early J. Scott Campbell. Um, the Danger Girl special. It's sort of, I guess, kind of an homage to Charlie's Angels. It's just a little bit tilted, and the Mod Squad. So Again, J. Scott Campbell, good girl art, sexy girl art, does it better than most. Again, this one came from Josh. This was a MegaCon exclusive. I didn't grab it, or I didn't see it down in MegaCon, but um, it's really cool. It's X-Men number 10, and it's the Carrie Andrews Virgin MegaCon exclusive. So Psylocke on the cover. Um, just a cool cover. Not much more to say, and thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. Again, you've seen Fathom in the last few weeks. Well, here it is again. Fathom number 9, the hollow foil variant. And I mean, this thing is shiny, shiny, shiny. So, absolutely fun. Absolutely awesome cover art. Michael Turner at his best. I had to grab that. Again, another one from Josh, because he knows I like J. Scott Campbell, and he knows I'm a big Spider-Man fan. King in Black, Gwenom versus Carnage. It's number 2. Of course, it's the J. Scott Campbell exclusive variant. Nope, I thought it was the one. It had the J. Scott Campbell sticker. But really cool. Mary Jane as Carnage. Gwen as Gwen or as Venom. Really, just again, sexy girl art. And speaking of the king of sexy girl or good girl art, we've got Dave Stevens with True Love number 1. Uh, hard to beat. These things were in dollar bins about a year and a half ago and skyrocketed for a while. They're obviously coming back down, which is why I'm grabbing a couple. I always did like Dave Stevens. I had some stuff from him before, uh, but I didn't grab some of his other stuff. So it's coming down. So I'm grabbing it when it's cheap. And of course, another Dave Stevens cover. Uh, Vanguard number 2. It's the first appearance of the Stargazers, and some really cool and just, I mean, it's prime good girl art. There is nothing more you can say about it, and it's just there. If you get a chance, check out Dave Stevens. He does some amazing work. And if you get a chance, check out the documentary on Dave Stevens about his life. I think you'll really enjoy it. It goes into all the cool stuff and how he mentored a lot of the uh, artists that you're seeing today, like Adam Hughes. They were good friends, and Hughes is a protege. So uh, next, I have this, but I pick it up every time I can when it's on at a good price. This is a hard one to get, and when you do, you see it in high grade, you grab it if it's decently priced, and I get it CGC'd every single time. And that's Tomb Raider 21. It's the Lansing swimsuit variant. It's worth a bit of coin, um, but I got it cheap, so I'm not complaining. And it sells like crazy uh, on the bay. So grab that, use that to fund some of my other stuff. Now again, here's a Josh comic, and this one did come from the Campbell store. Uh, I've got this, the original copy, in a soft slab, but this is really cool. This is the second printing J. Scott Campbell X-23 Wolverine #1 sketch variant. Thanks, Josh. Awesome. Love this cover. Absolutely love the color and the trade dress, but this is, you know, just nice to have. This is just nice to have. And this will get sent to CGC too. Um, Next up, we've got Inhumans #5. And with the Thunderbolts coming out, it's nice to have the first appearance or the first cameo appearance of Yelena Belova as as the Black Widow. Um, it's nice. It kind of goes into Black Widow #1. There's a couple variants that is her first full appearance, um, which is really cool. So with the Thunderbolts, I thought I'd have this. It matches my. It'll go with my um, Yelena Belova Black Widow #1 uh, for first appearances. Next, we've got The Tick #9, and as you know, I love The Tick. A lot of fun. Love reading this. This is prime '90s goodness. This was when comics were a lot of fun, especially in independent. And I just I've always loved the Tick, both in cartoon comics and the live action stuff. So it's really cool. Uh, Next up, we've got a really cool exclusive. And as you know, I love Transformers. So we've got Transformers Infiltration #0, the BotCon edition, the 2005 BotCon. It's an exclusive. It's a wraparound variant, so it's got stuff on the back as well. Optimus Prime. I mean, he's right up there. Uh, he's one of my favorites. He was really cool when I was a kid, and they broke a lot of hearts on kids when they killed him in the '86 movie. Again, it's not a spoiler when it's 40 something years old. So, uh, you know. So as I said, I love Transformers. I got this because my copy is not uh, up to snuff to go to CGC. Found some ticks. It's not going to go, but this one is minty minty. This one's going to go to fill out my Transformers 1 to 10 in CGC. So I needed it. #2, going to CGC, complete my run. Next up, we've got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. #1, the very first Power Rangers. Oh, also the Transformers was second appearance of Optimus Prime, second Megatron, second Starscream, second pretty much all Autobots and Decepticons that were in the first wave. But the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it's the very first Power Rangers in comics. It's the premiere issue, first Lord Zed, first Goldar, first appearance of the White Ranger, which is in an ad, first appearance of the Thunder Zords. It's the beginning of um, Power Rangers. So if you were a kid in the 90s, you remember the Power Rangers. It was a little bit past when I was doing stuff, but I mean, it was the 90s version of Voltron, so had to pick it up. Now, this book, um, this is new, and I'm not a big new comic guy. Um, I keep some stuff, but this is really cool, and I kind of like the premise. This is Godzilla Heist #1. And the premise behind it is a guy wants to, uh, I think it's he robs a bank. I haven't read it yet. It's going on my pile to read. Um, but he wants to rob a casino or yeah, I think it's a casino or a bank. I can't remember which one. And in in doing so, as a distraction, he calls in Godzilla to you know uh, set everybody to take care of Godzilla while he goes and steals stuff. So I thought it I thought it was a kind of a cool premise. We'll see how it goes, but I definitely did pick up #1. So we'll see. Um, Next up, as I said, this week is a little bit big because of extra stuff that didn't get sent to me last week. Um, Absolutely love this cover. Atkins, um, cool Hulk, cool Captain Marvel. This is number 21. It's the fight between Hulk and Captain Marvel. It's sort of an iconic battle. So I definitely had to grab this. It was a nice shape, and I mean it is a nice shape. So definitely had to get it. Cool covers, cool stuff, great shape, good price. It's like a perfect storm, and that's where I go. So um, next we've got Sandman #5, and the reason I got this, I needed it to complete my Sandman Jack Kirby run. Um, this is Sandman before Sandman, um, but I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but those purples are just so deep and they pop, and the yellow and the red. It is just covers like this just aren't as like the simple um, covers of the 70s. I just I think they're awesome, and that's why I kind of like them a lot more than even some of the new covers. So, uh, well, next book we've got Werewolf by Night #39. It's Werewolf by Night versus Brother Voodoo. Brother Voodoo's a cool little character. I think he's awesome. Um, I got to get some more stuff from him. I definitely have to get his #1. I've been missing it for a while, and I just haven't focused on it. But after I got this, I'm like, yeah, I wanna focus in a little bit more because the supernatural aspect of the MCU, or sorry, the Marvel universe, um, I always loved. Like I love the DC supernatural stuff like Swamp Thing and whatnot, and in on the Marvel side, Man Thing, Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider, sort of the supernatural aspects. I really dig. There's some cool stories that I really enjoy, and I used to love Moon Knight as a kid. So as I said, I want to get more into it, get a little bit more reading done, because I haven't done it in quite some time. At least on that stuff. Um, Next up, we've got Daredevil Special #3. Cool Daredevil and Spider-Man cover. Um, I didn't even know this book existed. Um, I hadn't seen it before. When I saw it, I'm like, "Oh, this looks nice," and I got it at a really nice price, and it's in nice shape. The only thing is it's square bound. The square bound itself is good, right? But there's a little bit of what happens in square bounds is some of the staples sort of protrude out of the cover. Um, so it's going to be delicate to try to try to press this. I don't know if it really needs it. I'd like to keep it. I'd like to read it. So, but it's a cool cover. I enjoy it. It's going in my PC. Ooh, this one's rough. This one is definitely low grade, and I usually don't buy low grade stuff um, unless it's an iconic issue, which this one is. Um, it's Jungle Action #6. It's the first Killmonger um, in comics. It is, as I said, low grade, but you know what? It's a great reader beater. It's a low, but it's there. And at least I've got it for now. I'll upgrade it later once I've focused a little bit more on some other stuff. But it was again great price, and still even in low grade, this thing's worth you know a fair amount. And I got it for a song, so I'm not complaining one bit. And that's why I grabbed it. As I said, it's a perfect storm when it comes to um, great price, good quality, you know, cool cover, sort of an iconic book. Those are usually what I did. Now this next one, this is a something I've never really collected before because they're very expensive in high grade. And I really wasn't a big reader, but again, as I said, I'm getting a little bit more into the Bronze Age horror stuff, and this came up in a stream, and no one knew what it was, and I got it for almost nothing, and it's in really nice shape. I'd say it's probably an 8.0, um, and I'm not complaining one bit about it because it is a really cool comic. It's Night Nurse #4. Now these books in high grade, especially if you get them in 9.0 or like nines, like 9.0 or to 9.4 or even better, they're really expensive. We're talking multiple hundreds of dollars per copy. I think I picked this up for like $10. I don't know why. No, it was even cheaper than that. It's just no one knew what it was that was in the room, and it was so I was really happy when I got it. I'm going to enjoy taking a look at it, and you know, as I said before, I think on one of my streams, um, I buy this every time I see it, especially if it's cheap, because it flips well and it funds a lot of the cool stuff like the Night Nurses and the other books that I want to keep. So these are books that sort of just I resell, and it goes, and if I find a higher grade, I just keep the better one, sell the cheaper one. But this one I buy all the time, and it's John Carter Warlord of Mars, number 11, The Origin of Deja Torres. Not her first appearance, but that's John Carter 1. But it's a cool cover. I mean, let's face it, it's bondage cover. Um, and as I said, it goes well. If you can find it cheap, and this always sells. When I throw it up, people always seem to buy it. So as I said, that's what I do for books like that. I grabbed this one. I thought it was going to maybe upgrade, but it might not. So we'll see. Um, Amazing Spider-Man 58. It's the second appearance, I think. Yeah, or sorry, it's the first appearance of the new Mark II Spider Slayer armor. J. Jonah Jameson coming to kill Spider-Man. Uh, it's early Spider-Man. It's Silver Age. Can't go wrong. Always pick up if I can. Problem is, it's not always the greatest prices, so a lot of people need them. So that's why it gets a little expensive, and I don't always grab Spider-Man. But saw this, and this is in absolutely beautiful shape. Ultimate Spider-Man #1. The first of the Ultimate Universe, back in the 2000s. I think it was 2000 when it came out. This was the book back then. It shot up. It's cheaper now, but this thing shot up to crazy amounts. And I'm not talking in COVID. I'm talking in the mid 2000s. This was a crazy book to try to get. Um, so this is the beginning. As I said, if I see it, it's a great and it's in great condition. I pick it up, especially if well, again, if it's at the right price. Now, these next two books are hard to get in very high grade, and I mean hard to get because of the fact they are embossed. So cleaning and pressing, especially pressing, is so hard. It's very difficult to do, um, to make this book nice, and I've got to do a little cleaning on the one. But it is Gargoyles #1 in both direct and newsstand. And if you have a 9/8 of this in newsstand, which I'm hoping after I do a little cleaning on it will be, it's stupid money. And again, part of the 90s Disney Gargoyles. A lot of kids grew up on them. So, as you know, I collect Canadian price variants, and that's what the next book is. It's Incredible Hulk 322 Canadian price variant. Um, if people don't know, Canadian price variants were the comics that were sold in Canada at a specific time where there was a price difference. Um, they were the newsstands in Canada, and until the and this was before the well, it was just at the beginning of the directs in the 80s. Um, but these were the newsstands of in Canada, and there were not many. Um, I mean, Canada's population was less than 10% of the United States at that time. These things are sometimes even more rare than Mark Jewelers. So when I say This is why I collect CPVs. Well, this is why. Because I love rare stuff, hard to find. And really, because it's just like in the United States, it's hard to find in great shape, um, because they were on newsstands. They were bought by kids. They were, you know. Now this next one is a CPV again, but this time this puppy is minty minty. Um, by the way, for those at home, every time I say minty minty, you can drink. Yes, there's a drinking game, I think, now. This is Thor 337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. Everyone kind of knows this cover or has seen it, but it's the Canadian price variant, 75 cents as opposed to 60. This thing's minty, and this puppy is going to CGC, and I absolutely love it. I remember this cover when I was a kid. Um, I wanted to get super high grades in Canadian price variant, Mark Jewelers, newsstand, and direct. So I've got the newsstand. It's at CGC now. The direct, I don't. I have to check the one that's in the 2 CGC pile. Um, and here's my Canadian price variant. So I think I'm just missing the Mark Jewelers now. Next up, I already have one at CGC right now, but every time I see this book, I grab it again if it's cheap or if it's at a reasonable price, because it's hard to find, and especially in high grade. And that is G.I. Joe Special Number 1. It's the Todd McFarlane cover. It's him homaging himself with Snake Eyes in the Spider-Man #1 um, pose. So, as I said, I grab this every time I see it, and it is absolutely just amazing. Can't wait. Now, I've been waiting for this next one for quite some time. And as I said, I'm a patient person. And when I see it, I grab it, especially if it's in um, nice grade, especially, well, extremely high grade. Um, I didn't. I paid a little bit for this, but it's because I've been waiting for it for a long time, and this thing is in just gorgeous shape. And again, it's going to CGC, and that's Care Bears #7. It's the 25th anniversary cover. Um, they're three hardest. I think the Care Bears is the hardest, but the last three. So I'm missing two more, which is Heathcliff and Muppet Babies. Um, but I think this is the hardest. But again, I think they're probably all hard. I want to complete my 25th anniversary run, so it's really cool. I finally got it. I paid a good. I paid a pretty penny for it. Don't get me wrong, but it is worth. Like, to me, it's the 25th anniversary was when I was a kid. This was in Niagara Falls, going into the local Gold's Variety, seeing the spinner rack, getting the stuff. GI Joe 25th anniversary with Snake Eyes, the X Factor, everything. It it instantly brings me back to when I was a kid. So it's it's nostalgia bait, and just I can't express how just amazing it brings me back to that time. So that's why I grabbed it. Had to get it. Absolutely loved it. The last comic we have And this was sent off to CGC, I want to say in August of last year, and it took this long to get back. This is, I thought it was going to get a little bit higher grade, but you know what? I'm okay with it for now. I will upgrade it in the future. Um, but as you know, uh, we were talking about uh, the Spider-Man armor, the Spider Slayer armor for J. Jonah Jameson. Well, this is the very first. This is the Mark One Spider Slayer armor, and this is the first, excuse me, cameo appearance of Mary Jane Watson in Amazing Spider-Man 25 in a CGC 4.5. So I wanted it a little nicer. I wanted it in uh, I wanted it in a 5.5 to go to for the rules I've set for myself, but it'll go for now. It'll get upgraded. Um, Took a little longer than I thought, so anybody who's looking at CGC for vintage stuff, it's 100 business days right now. So sending off vintage stuff, unless it's high value, which is worth $1,000 or more, um, just know that you're going to wait probably 6 months for your books to get back. Modern stuff's coming back quite quick, but high value and the unlimited tier is probably the way to go if you can, um, because they're coming back in a couple weeks um, for vintage stuff. If not, you're waiting 6 months. Even the fast track is getting a little long as well. So, but either way, those are the pickups for this week, guys. I appreciate it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Say, hey, I would have got this instead of this, or hey, this was a cool book, or hey, why are you an idiot buying this thing? Um, Say it in the comments. I don't mind. I take criticism well. Uh, Enjoy. Um, go out there, find yourself a diamond in the rough, and what I mean that is find yourself a book that might not be a 9.8, but you know what? When you look at it, it may be a 3, a 4, but if you can learn some of the tricks that in pressing and enjoying the hobby, you can turn it into maybe doing some cleaning and whatnot, and getting it up to maybe a 7 or an 8. Taking that and putting that book and it's really nice, and you're like, yeah, I like displaying this. This is really cool. As I said, find that diamond in the rough. Enjoy collecting, and as Red Green always says, keep your stick on the ice. Hey, what are you doing, man? Why are you still sticking around? I mean, if you're gonna be here, hit the like and subscribe. You know you want to do it. Santa tells you to do it. If you don't do it, you'll not get jello in your stocking next year. The earth is flat, man. Deal with it.